Trip number one. Let's talk some prospects. We're into the top 10. We're into the top 10. And number 10 is 6'7" Dean Letourneau. Dean is the first round pick, 25th overall, going to Boston College this year. And the thing about Letourneau, he has tremendous potential, obviously size, some skating ability, hands, and so forth. But the question about him is when it's elite competition, what you're going to get out of him, because he hasn't really played, in an elite league or any type of a high competition scenario.
Yeah, that's the question. And I think going to Boston College and playing in Hockey East will certainly test that with him coming in as a freshman and playing in Hockey East is a really good league. A lot of top draft picks there. And he'll be tested. A lot of the guys that are in Hockey East don't come in as young as he's coming in, and you see guys play a year or two in the USHL or some other prep leagues before they get to BC. So they're coming in at 20 years old, 21 years old. So he might be going up against 23, 24-year-old guys here, and it's definitely going to be a test for him to come in at that age and against that kind of competition and compete. So it'll be interesting to see how he does in his first year at BC.
Yeah, I mean, he's on another loaded BC team.
Yeah.
James Hagens, who could be the number one pick next year. Oscar Jelvik, Andre Gasso. I mean, it's a really good team. And it's going to be top 10 team or whatever in the country. And so it'd be interesting to see where he plays along the lineup, and who he plays with. But like we said, like he's at least going to advance his game playing at this level, and you'll be able to see exactly what you might be able to get out of Letourneau. Still a long way away from any type of pro career, but hey, all the potential in the world. And at 6'7" center, take a swing, and hopefully he comes along.
Yeah, I mean, he's been compared to Tage Thompson, who played in Hockey East at University of Connecticut. So, and Thompson, I think, didn't come out to turn pro until he was in his junior season. So, Letourneau has some time to develop there at BC and get stronger and improve, on the parts of his game. I think in the Bruins development camp, he did have some issues with puck protection against some guys who are a little smaller and faster that could kind of get up underneath them and take pucks away. And also strength in holding some other guys off. So there's, he definitely has some things he needs to work on. But Boston College and Hockey East is a great place to do it.
Sure, for sure. All right, number 9. How about Dan Zlakmelis at UMass? Had a pretty good year. He started off slow. He actually was delayed because of a little snafu with the NCAA, where he played for a Swedish league 2 games. Kind of a weird rule. Wasn't able to play to start the year, but came along as time went on. And he's a later round pick who has some ability, and this is going to be a big year for Zlakmelis, who'll probably be on the top line and one of the offensive weapons for UMass Minutemen.
Yeah, and he was in the I don't know if it was World Juniors or something similar to that. An international competition. Played for Latvia and did pretty well there. And by all accounts, people are expecting a breakout year from him, very similar to a guy who's a little higher up on this list, Oscar Jelvik with BC, who had a breakout season last year. So. Big things hopefully on the horizon for Zlakmelis. He has a lot of good skill and speed and some tenacity to his game. So I think, you could be looking forward to a nice year from him and hopefully catapulting himself, up this prospect list in the near future.
And then Andre Gasso is at 8. He's going to be a teammate of Letourneau. This is his junior season. He's 21 years old, out of California. He's 6'4", 205. Big kid, left shot center. He shoots the puck well, as evidenced by last year. He had 12 goals, 17 assists in 40 games. He's gradually having, making some progress, and now he's going to be probably on a top line with Jelvik potentially, and maybe Ryan Leonard's still there.
Yeah.
So there's some really good talent. Of course, Hagens is there. So Gasso is a guy, again, later round pick, because they've had to hit on some 7th rounder. But for a 7th rounder to be a top line guy at BC, I mean, that's a pretty good value just already. And we'll see if he and Jelvik decide to sign after junior season.
Yeah, I think Gasso, the main question about him is his skating and whether he can skate, at the pro level. So, all the other parts of his game are there. So, if he can work and improve on his skating, he could have a future with Boston someday.
Yeah, for sure. And that, again, a good team with good talent and playing a good schedule. And then 7 is his teammate Oscar Jelvik, who had a terrific year last year. And Oscar is becoming a guy who is almost on the radar now to be someone who's a viable candidate to be a pro someday. I mean, he's really coming on. He's 5'11", 180. He's not a big guy, but he is 21 years old. And last season had a very good season in his sophomore year. Last season, he had 13 goals and 29 assists after only having 17 points the year before. So he's a point per game guy last season. Had a really good year and a really good team.
Yeah.
With a lot of great players and first-round picks. And he really shined throughout the season, especially in the second half of the season. So already kind of big expectations from Jelvik. And again, a junior. And we'll see if I would imagine he would sign after this season.
Yeah, I would think so. The only question with these guys all at BC is, is it a product of playing with a bunch of great players? Can you do that when you're not surrounded with great talent? Can you do that with now the spotlight on you? Jelvik's going to be a guy that other teams are going to game plan for now, where, last year it might have been the freshman trio that they were game planning for. So, with the bullseye on your back, can you still produce? Can you still put the points up and do it, on a regular basis now that he's going to be relied upon? So, here's some, another test for him that he needs to pass, and hopefully he will. But he certainly has the potential to be a guy that Boston's looking for in the future.
It's good to have all the last 4 guys we just said are all in Hockey East. So it's good to have them here close by, see them on TV on Nesson all the time. Like,
Nesson,
watch these guys.
Another
ESPN Plus. Sure. Yeah.
You can check out all these guys and some Hockey East stuff here might be coming down the pike.
Benders might be covering a little bit more Hockey East for you.
Dipping a toe in.
Why not? Yeah. All right. And then number 6, 20-year-old Jackson Edward. The one description I love about Jackson Edward, people say, is violent.
Yeah.
Like, they use the word violent. And this guy is tough. He can fight. He's nasty. He plays on the edge. There's some suspensions here or there. Yeah. There's some questionable plays.
Yes.
But last season, leading his team toward the Memorial Cup and losing with the London Knights, losing in the final there. But he was one of the best players on the ice and had a terrific offensive season. We had 7 goals and 23 assists for a guy who isn't known for offensive ability. So that came along too. So this guy could become the full package, and he's going to play in the AHL with Providence.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to watching him play. I'm going to get down to some Providence Bruins games. It's a great take down there. I'm not too far away, so I'm definitely excited to watch him play because I think he offers you everything you could possibly want in a defenseman. He can skate. He's nasty. He'll hit. He'll suspension worthy hits. I mean, he'll fight. He'll stick up for teammates. He's got a pretty good shot. He obviously can pass, 23 assists. So he has kind of the whole package, and he's really come on. Defensemen sometimes, are a little bit late bloomers. They take a little more time to develop than forwards tend to. just because they have to learn the defensive side of the game, and that's a little more difficult. It's playing without the puck and all that stuff. So I think he's an exciting prospect. He's definitely climbing up the charts, and he's going to be one to watch for Bruins fans.
For sure. All right, Chirp 2 is